Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel and welcome to part 4 of this Python tutorial for absolute beginners. In this video we are going to talk about tuples. And what exactly is a tuple? A tuple is much like a list. It is a sequence of objects. But, and I cannot stress this enough, tuples are immutable. That means we cannot change its content. And as we saw in our last video with the lists, we can add and remove items, we can delete them, we can change them out. But as I said, tuples are carved in stone once you have written them. You can write tuples with surrounded by round brackets or without, but with round brackets is the most common and it's also a bit more readable if you ask me. Just to show you what I'm talking about, we will create a set of tuples here. Tuple 1 equals 2, put some integers, 5. Tuple 2 we will have with strings. Let's make some strings also. Hey, goodbye, and ciao. We have 3 strings in our tuple. Tuple 3 equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and tuple 4 is equal to 1. As I said, we can write them both surrounded with round brackets and without. All of these, for example, are tuples. You can also mix, of course, strings and numbers within a tuple. That's allowed, that's not a problem. The one tuple that kind of sticks out here is tuple number 4, which only contains one item. If you only have one item within the tuple, you will always have to end it with the decimal point or the colon mark. And this is quite easy because if you do not have that, then Python will believe that this tuple 4 here is just a variable for the integer 1 in this case, or the string, or whatever you have. And as I said, and I will stress that one more time, tuples are immutable. After writing them, we cannot change their content. And just to show you some proof of that, we will do tuple 2. And what would be the index number 1 in a list? There are no index numbers in a tuple. Well, there are index numbers in a tuple, but we can't change them out. So it's now horse. That was my mistake. There are definitely index numbers there, but we cannot change them out. And this will result in an error. And just to double prove that, we will now display tuple number 2. Hey, goodbye, ciao. There is no horse there. In the list, we would have changed out goodbye for the word horse, but not in tuples. However, we can access them, and that we will do with the index numbers. So we will do tuple 2, and we will do now one that we know now will be goodbye. So they are accessible by using the index number. We can also loop through them using a for loop, just as we did in the last video with the list. And as I said in the last video as well, do not worry too much about for loops at this stage. They are very powerful and we will definitely do a video about them in a few videos, I think. So, for items in tuple 2, items.upper. Hey, goodbye, ciao, all in uppercase. And just as the last example with the lists, this will save you a lot of lines. If this tuple, for example, contained 100 items, then you would do all of this in just 2 codes instead of 100. If we use the keyword in, we can check if something, either a string or a number or whatever, is inside the tuple. So we will do, for example, we can do hey in tuple 2. That comes out as true. And if we check up here, we do actually have hey in tuple 2. If we do, for example, cold turkey in tuple 2, This will be false. There is no cold turkey in this tuple. And also we can check the length of a tuple with the len keyword. So len tuple 1, that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is correct. And I would like to stress that one more time and say it with me this time. Tuples are immutable. We cannot change them. If you are thinking, should I use a tuple or should I use a list for my assignment? If it is at all possible that you will have to change or edit or remove or add something to it, then go for a list. Do not go for a tuple because they are immutable. At the end here, we can mention a couple more of tuple methods. So we will create a new tuple. Tuple 1 equals now to, let's do some strings. Let's see here. Hey there, stranger. Hey, hey, hey. So that is now our new tuple 1. We can do the count method, for example, that will return the number of items of times an item occurs within the tuple. So we will then do, for example, tuple1.count, and let's see if we can count the numbers of hey. That's why we put several hey in there. That occurs 4 times within the tuple. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is correct. And we also have the index. That will display the index number the first time an item occurs. So if we take hey here, it will only take the number 1. So let's do that. For example, tuple1.index, and we can use, for example, there. Comes up at number 1. There. Perfect. And as we already know, it starts with 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is basically what I have to say about tuples. It is of course possible to dig a lot deeper into them, and there is a lot more you can do with them, and they are quite necessary when you are starting code a bit more. And if you want to do a bit of more deep dive, there is no need for that just yet. It will come later in this tutorial or in another tutorial. For now, I think this will be enough for you just to know what they are and how to access them and how we can work a bit with them. But if you want to do a bit more of a deep dive, then you should read the documentation on pt.4. And as always, if you have any questions, then feel free to leave them in the comment section down below. Do give me a thumbs up and keep up my motivation for making these tutorials. Also, do go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos to come.